Welcome to Web Style Plus. Learning about JavaScript errors is crucial for web developers because it helps to debug code more efficiently, improve code quality, enhance user experience, and optimize website or web application performance. By understanding common errors and how to handle them properly, you can write better code, resulting in a more responsive and functional website or application. In this video, I will show you most common JavaScript errors and explain how to fix them and avoid them. So here are some of the most common JavaScript errors that you may encounter. Reference error. A reference error in JavaScript occurs when you try to access a variable or function that has not been defined. For example, this console log is trying to log the value of my var, but the variable has not been defined anywhere in the code, resulting in a reference error. This can happen when you misspell the variable name, forget to declare it with var, let, or const, or try to access it outside of its scope. It is important to always declare your variables properly and keep track of their scope to avoid reference errors in your JavaScript code. Now this error is fixed. Then we have type error. Type error occurs when you try to use a value that is not of the expected type. For example, calling a method on an undefined or null value. Here we have a variable number, which is assigned the value of 42, which is a number. We are trying to call the toUpperCase method on this number. However, the toUpperCase method is only available on strings, so we get a type error with the message number.toUpperCase is not a function. This is because we are trying to call a method on a value that is not of the expected type. Here it should have been string. To fix this error, we need to convert the number to a string before calling the toUpperCase method. Like so. We converted the number to a string using the toString method and then call the toUpperCase method on the string. This code will execute without any errors. Or just treat number as string by using quotes. Or just use string. The error is fixed. Then we have syntax error. A syntax error in JavaScript occurs when you have a syntax mistake in your code, such as a missing semicolon, missing or misspelled symbol, missing bracket, missing keyword, expression, or curly brace. We defined a function called myFunction using arrow function syntax. However, we forgot to include the opening parenthesis after the console log statement, resulting in a syntax error. This is because the console log statement requires parentheses to enclose its argument. And you see it points out where it thinks problem can be. To fix this error, we need to include the opening and closing parentheses around the argument of the console log statement. Now it's fixed. Also, removing curly brace resulted in syntax error. Removing parentheses will result in syntax error as well. Okay. A range error. A range error in JavaScript occurs when you try to use a value that is outside of allowable range of values. Invalid array length. This can happen when you try to create an array with too many elements, or when you try to perform a mathematical operation that results in a value that is too large or too small. Here we try to create a new array with this length. However, this number is too large to represent as an array length. So we get a range error with the message invalid array length. This is because the maximum allowable length for an array in JavaScript is this much. To fix this error, we need to reduce the size of the array. Or have a look at this. Range error, invalid array length. Here, the array constructor in JavaScript expects a non-negative integer as its argument to specify the length of the array. A negative value of -1 is not a valid length for an array. Since arrays in JavaScript cannot have a negative length, the array constructor throws a range error with the message invalid array length. To fix it, provide a valid non-negative integer as the argument to the array constructor to specify the length of the array. Eval error. This error occurs when there is an error in the eval function. Eval error is a built-in error object in JavaScript that is thrown when an error occurs in the eval function. The eval function is used to evaluate a string of code as if it were part of the current script. This exception is not thrown by JavaScript anymore. However, the eval error object remains for compatibility. The URI error. URI error is thrown when a global URI handling function is used incorrectly. This error occurs when there is an error in the encode URI, decode URI, encode URI component, or decode URI component functions. We used the try-catch statement to catch any errors that occur while decoding a URI component using the decode URI component function. The URI component is not a valid URI component and will result in a URI error. To fix the URI error, you can change the invalid URI component to a valid one. For example, you can change it to %25, which is the URL encoded representation of the % character or % symbol, and now issue is fixed. Or here we have similar issue. To fix it, change the invalid URI component and it's fixed. Internal error. An internal error in JavaScript is a type of error that is thrown when an internal error occurs in the JavaScript engine. This error typically indicates a bug or limitation in the engine itself, rather than a mistake in the code written by the developer. We defined a function that calls itself recursively without any base case to stop the recursion. This could lead to a Stack Overflow error in most cases, but in some JavaScript engines, it could result in an internal error or range error, like a range error, maximum call stack size exceeded. Another example is this. We defined a function that creates an infinite loop without any way to break out of it. This could also lead to a Stack Overflow error in most cases, but in some JavaScript engines, it could result in an internal error or range error. Range error, potential infinite loop, exceeded 2000 iterations. Internal error is a rare type of error, and it often caused by bugs in the JavaScript engine or other low-level issues, rather than by mistakes in the code written by developers. So these are most common JavaScript errors that you might see. It is important to understand these errors and how to fix them to avoid unexpected behavior in your JavaScript applications. Now this is not all. There is a lot more to it. If we take an example of only reference error, there are more than just one cause of reference error, such as it could be a variable that is not defined. It could be assignment to an undeclared variable. It could be lexical declaration access issue before initialization. It could be a deprecated caller or arguments usage issue. It could be a reference to undefined property and more. If you'd like me to go deeper in this topic and explore more on JavaScript error types and their causes, then let me know in comments or like this video to show that you want to learn more about JavaScript errors and their debugging. I will expand on this topic and will share a lot more regarding each error type and their causes and how to fix them. Okay, I hope it helped. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.